In this video you will learn how to use the Model Designer module to design your first dental models. You will also learn how to base the upper model, and how to use the arch cutting tool to trim away excess material around the peripheries of the lower scan. While this tutorial features the latest Model Designer menu, some of the other tutorials display a menu from a previous Model Designer version. There are subtle differences with features which have been upgraded, however these will be pointed out to you. The basic functionality of the menus remain the same. We recommend you follow all the tutorials in sequence for a deeper understanding of the digital designing process. As a starting point, it is best to first align the scans into the center of the 3D work environment. Aligning the scans will make navigation easier. It will also ensure your model bases are extruded correctly into a vertical direction. When importing scans, the scans can often be out of alignment with the X, Y, and Z coordinates of the 3D work area. Before we can continue with any CAD work, we will first have to rearrange the location of the scans to better suit the current environment. Ideally, the occlusal plane should sit directly on the X and the Y axis. The midline of the anterior teeth should be in line with the blue Z axis. This is when the scan is viewed directly from the front. In order to get the scans into the center, first select the upper model. Make sure it is highlighted with the orange border. Then, navigate to the menu and press on Enter Target. The Blender algorithms require a naming process to instruct which object is being targeted for alignment. You will notice how the scan name has now changed to Target. This is correct. This field should not be altered while performing this process. The name Target will also appear on the upper left-hand side of the screen. To help you along, you will also notice the tooltips appearing on the lower section of the screen. Next, left-click on the lower scan, then press on Name Opposing. Again, you will see a name change for the lower scan to Opposing. You will now need to press the Link Flip tab. This will immediately hide the lower scan and flip the upper scan so you can view it from the top. This will allow you to easily place 4 small points on the occlusal surfaces of 4 teeth in a trapezoid-like fashion. The 4 points are used by the Blender algorithms to work out how to best fit the upper scan onto the X, Y, and Z coordinates. By doing this, we are constructing a hypothetical occlusal plane. Be sure to always use 4 points, never less and never more. Since the lower model is hidden, we can move over the upper model. Choose the highest cusp tip on the upper molar and place the cursor. To do this, press Shift and right-click the mouse. Once done, navigate back to the menu and press the 4 points tab. This will place a red point in the area of the cursor. Continue, and move to the next tooth. First place the cursor, then go back to the menu and press on 4 points. Place another point on the canine. There is a shortcut key for 4 points, which is the P key on your keyboard. This time, try pressing P instead. Continue to place the last point on the molar. Always use the highest tip, and remember, place 4 points only. When done, move back to the menu and press Align. The scans have now been aligned into the center. Sometimes, the scans will need to be flipped around if they are facing into a different direction. This varies from one scan to the next, and depends on the way Blender calculates the shortest possible route into the center. You will then have to rotate the scans by using the rotation icons over here. Always ensure that both scans are selected when rotating the scans. Ensure the teeth face forward and into your direction. Check to see that the green letter Y in the rotation widget is visible. This is located in the uppermost part of the window on the right-hand side. Also, you should see the red line and the blue line as it is displayed here. The green line cannot be seen since it is facing your way. If you would like to do further adjustments to the alignment, you can use the Blender toolbar on the left-hand side. Press the letter T on your keyboard. To do this, always ensure both scans are selected. You can activate the directional widget, and by moving the arrows you can further fine-tune the alignment. If you press on the 3D viewport, you will lose the selection of both objects. If this happens, simply double-select them again. If you would like to use shortcut keys, first press the letter G, followed by the letter Z. This means you are grabbing the object into the Z direction. If you want to rotate the scans, simply activate the rotational widget, then move to the axis you want to use and slowly turn the scans. If you would like to use a shortcut key to rotate objects, simply press the letter R on your keyboard and then move your mouse. Please remember, there is a list of shortcut keys in the blue folder in the module webpage. When you are satisfied with the placement, first get back into the select mode, then navigate back to the menu and lock the scans. This way the occlusion will not be lost further down the line. With this, we will conclude the first part of the tutorial. In the next video you will learn how to base the upper model, and how to trim the borders of the lower model by using the arch cutting tool. Thanks for watching this video. In this video you will learn how to trim the dental arch with the arch cutting tool. You will also learn how to make a base for the dental model. At this stage of the model making process, your scans should look tidy, and they should be free of any minor defects, like holes, divots, drag lines or any unwanted free-floating mesh. This section is covered in previous tutorials called Editing Scan Defects. All mouse moves and keystrokes are represented by the screencast icon in the lower left part of this window. For the arch cutting tool to function correctly, make sure you have the Curve Extra Objects and the Mesh Extra Objects add-ons activated. If you are unsure how to do this, please view the installation tutorial. Scans can often have uneven or jagged edges. These will have to be trimmed with the arch cutting tool. By using the arch cutting tool, you will ensure that your base is extruded with an even and organized mesh structure, which is easy to slice and to print. There is some leeway given to borders being slightly irregular. However, this means that while some bases might extrude successfully, others may not. Keep in mind that the structure of the mesh must be maintained to a high standard at all times. To begin, let us examine the edge of the upper scan. A border like this is still within the acceptable limits for this procedure to work. Things to look out for are tags which tend to hook backwards into the scan. These may result in overlapping vertices when extruding out the base. If we look at the lower border, you will notice how some of the tags are more extreme. This is a perfect example where you would use the arch cutting tool. For demonstration purposes, we will commence with making the base for the upper scan. Select the upper scan, left-click to highlight it, then move to the menu and press on Upper Base. You will need to wait a few moments for Blender to do the necessary calculations. The base has extruded successfully. Next, we will demonstrate the arch cutting tool on the lower scan. Position the scan so that you can get a clear view of the area in which to start the cut line. Let us begin by selecting the lower scan. Left-click to highlight it, then place the cursor, shift and right-click. Navigate to the menu and press on Arch Cut. You will notice that the upper model has disappeared from the scene. We have incorporated this feature, so you will be able to focus on working on one scan at a time. The upper model can always be unhidden by using the Unhide menu tab, or by pressing Alt-H on the keyboard. Press the E key to extrude the line, then left-click to set down the line. Again, press E to extrude the line, then left-click to set down the line. Whenever you set down the line, you will create a new vertex in that location. Please remember, you will only be able to navigate once the line has been set down. It is impossible to navigate while you are in the extrude mode. For those of you who would like to streamline the outlining process, navigate back to the menu and press on the Extrude tab. This will allow you to automatically set down the line by only using the left click on the mouse. Go back to the model, and this time, only left click to set down the line. This new feature will now give you two different ways to handle this procedure. We will fast forward this section. If you would like to relocate one of the vertices, which you are not entirely happy with, navigate to the menu and press the Edit tab. This will get you back to the conventional way of moving a vertex. First select the vertex, then press the letter G on your keyboard. G is for grab, then move your mouse to relocate the vertex. When you are satisfied, left-click on the model to set it down. To continue, select the vertex you left off with. You can press the letter E to extrude the line and then left-click to set it down, or navigate back to the menu and press the Extrude tab. This will allow you to simply use the left-click to do this process. We will fast-forward this section. When you get to the end, navigate back to the menu and press the Fuse tab. This will automatically join the starting vertex and the end vertex. We will go back a couple of steps to draw your attention to a possible problem scenario. When placing the arch cut line, be sure that the line does not penetrate through the mesh of the dental scan. If this happens to you, the arch cutting line will not succeed. Rather, go back by pressing the Ctrl and the Z key, or, if the perimeter is already outlined, simply grab one of the vertices and relocate it. The arch cutting line must always be kept above the surface of the scan, for the cut to be successful. Rather, place more vertices in complex areas. Alternatively, you can still use the conventional way. We will just undo this step by using the Ctrl and the Z key. Select one vertex, then shift and left-click on the other vertex, followed by pressing the F key on your keyboard. This will also still fuse the line. When this is done, we are ready to trim the border. Navigate to the menu and press on Trim. Immediately you will see the model in a wireframe mode. This process has entered us back into edit mode. There should be a small gap running between the scan and the unwanted mesh. If you have a closer look, you will notice two thin lines which are wedged between the scan and the loose mesh. This is a cutting tool doing some of the background work. This is correct. Navigate to the scan and select any face on the dental scan. This will tell the Blender algorithms that we want to keep the mesh of the dental scan, but we want to get rid of the excess mesh below it. Navigate back to the menu and click on Clean. The scan border has now been trimmed. In order to have a closer look at the edge, we will briefly go into edit mode. Notice how the border consists of a tidy edge running around the entire periphery of the scan. This mesh structure sets the perfect foundation for the future base. We will get out of edit mode and press on the lower base tab. This will immediately extrude the lower base. If you would like to edit the length of the base, this would be a great time to do it. Navigate to the Scale tab, then go to the vertical arrow, and drag it either upwards or downwards. Here you can inspect the structure of the mesh. If the edges are all uniformly aligned, as you can see here, you have a simple mesh structure which is easy to slice and to print. When you are satisfied with the length, click on Apply. We will unhide the upper model. If you want to adjust the length of the upper model, simply select the upper model and repeat the process. Well done! You have successfully designed your dental models from a scan. These can now be printed. In the next tutorial you will learn how to create individual dies. Thank you for watching this video. This short video will demonstrate a recent update which was made to the Making Bases menu. We have included a new feature in which the model bases can include a small border. To demonstrate, ensure the scan is selected. Instead of pressing the upper or lower base button, you can now press the With Border button. This will give you a model with a small periphery border as an additional option.